Hey guys, AuspiciousSausie here, and welcome to episode 5 of Australian Pro Wrestling. Now, this episode, going to start it off with, I think, a few signings. Then we're obviously going to get into This Is War, and then we also have Big Night Out, which is probably what the pay-per-view, or what the episode is called. It is, in fact, what the pay-per-view is called, because it's our pay-per-view. Which I should probably stop this. Yeah, I don't like that happening. That's pretty frustrating. My, yeah, the fast advance, for some reason, doesn't really work properly. Like, when I press the spacebar, it just continues to not respond. Not exactly sure if that's an actual issue or not, but, I mean, it's kind of a bit of an issue for me. Anyway, let's have a look at these people that I've shortlisted. As you can see, we've got about 10, maybe about 12 there, actually. Some of the heels, some of them are faces, some of them are going to come in and join the agency, which is obviously Debonair and Damien's stable together at the moment. And they're going to basically say they're going out to recruit. But this first guy here, Branky Bremner, looks pretty incredible for a 20-year-old. It's really crazy that a guy like this doesn't have a company. I'm kind of surprised he's not with Zen. But then again, I guess he's kind of probably a bit too generic for Zen, sorry. I do want to bring him in. He's going to be extremely cheap, as you can see. We'll literally just give him 30, that's fine. Probably going to be a bit of a jobber for us, because I don't really have any plans for him as, you know, he's a face, so, yeah. Up next, we've got Blackwell Bush, who is a guy that I'm pretty familiar with. He was in 2016. Just a really good worker, to be honest. Not great on the microphone, as you can see down here. Star quality is very low as well. But I feel like he could come in and either be a part of the agency or be up against the agency. Has very low popularity. So he's only going to be 30 as well. So we'll get him in as well. I do kind of like him. Next we got Brown Snake. He's another really young guy that's really good. I don't think we're going to sign him right now because we got Banky Bremner. So we'll move on. Christian Blythe. Now, I think I want him to join the agency. I think he's good enough. He's also pretty good on the microphone as well. So let's sign Christian up here. Also, only going to be 30 because he doesn't have any real popularity in Australia. But the next one, I think I want to get both the Buchanan brothers. So Flip and Bounce. At the moment, we only have Flip in here, but I guess I can go and sign his brother as well. And that's just going to add another tag team, a bit of a jobber tag team to our ranks. We kind of already have Chuck and Casey, but I don't really want to make them lose all the time. And I feel like the Buchanan brothers taking on Samoan Demolition would be a pretty good squash match to do. We then have Gregory Grace. Now, I want him to come in. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. 900 per show. I want to try and negotiate that down a bit. It is just a little bit too high for me. So it wants 870, man. That is steep. And also a higher cut of the merchandise. Still, he wants 25%. Really? Wow. I do really like him, though. He's quite good in the ring, as you can see. I mean, he's not great with his primary, but his basics are pretty good. Psychology's pretty good. Pretty good on the microphone there as well. He's been released by Raw. And as you can see, as such, he has 49 popularity in pretty much all the regions except for New Zealand, which is going to be a massive boost for us. And I feel like he'll be the perfect fit for the agency as kind of their main star, if you will. Obviously, Damien Dastardly is kind of the heir to the throne, but this guy's going to be the focus, and probably is going to be the guy that challenges for the Commonwealth title. Now, Jesse Tasman's a very interesting one as well. He's got super good star quality and charisma. So I think we'll just bring him in. Can maybe be like a mid-card champion perhaps. And again, he's only going to be 30, so that's nice and cheap. Hence the 8 popularity in New South Wales. Now, I'm not going to bring Jester in, but Jester, I think depending on how long the series goes for, we could bring him in and do something pretty interesting with maybe a stable for him. But that might be in the future. Reggie Hema, another guy I'm thinking about bringing in. I think let's bring him in because I do want him to join Goliath Global. I think he's a perfect fit, sort of Scotty Hamstead's apprentice, maybe. Would be a pretty cool storyline. And then finally, Surfer Dude Lucas. See, part of me wants to bring him in because he's really good, but I'm just not sure what we would actually do with him. And he does have really low popularity. He's only going to be 30 for a guy that talented. I mean, we may as well just bring him in. Yeah, so there we go. We're going to bring in a lot of guys, making a lot of signings. But I think they're all pretty beneficial. Should probably bring in Bounce Buchanan as well. I forgot to shortlist him for some reason. Either way, like I said, I'm going to bring in some fresh faces. I always like to have a bit of a bloated roster. Just so you have options and you can do different things with stables and stuff like that. Alright, we've got a few, or we've pretty much got all the contracts. So Banky's coming in as a face, Blackwell as a heel, Bounce as a face, or sorry, not Bounce, the other Flip. Jesse as a face. Perfect. Reggie Hema as a heel. And a face there for Surfer Dude Lucas. Do I want Christian Blythe? Yeah, I kind of do. He's really, really good in the ring. And then Gregory. That's a lot of new faces, but I just don't really want to repeat the same sort of matches, and we do have a TV show, so we want to try and make sure that, we keep things fresh, at least for the duration of this series. Alright, here we go. Christian coming in as a heel, and we're just waiting on Gregory. Yeah, I think we can do some pretty cool things now. And over these next couple of episodes, we're going to recruit quite a few members into that. Yeah, I mean, I guess all those default. Oh, let's also make... The Debonair needs to be Damien's manager. Do I want him to be his manager and go out to the ring with him? I'm not sure if I do. I mean, his entertainment stats are pretty good, but then at the same time... Yeah, I guess we'll do it. So let's go back to Damien. And we'll make his manager Debonair. Save that. I guess we'll do it. We'll do it for now. It kind of makes sense, I guess. Even though Damien can kind of speak on his own. It does make sense. Alright, so we do have one match already booked for this show. We've also got Wrestlers Court here for King Maliotoa. Small positive impact change with him as well, so that's a positive. Happy about that. Also do a cheeky little rib. Maybe on Jesse. Yeah, success with the locker room. Nice. Alright. Again, we'll go a generic venue in New South Wales, and then let's book. So, the main event... Let's do a tag match main event. And I think we want to have... Yeah, interesting. I don't actually know what I want to do for the main event. I kind of know what I want to do on the rest of the show, but just the main event is a little confusing for me. Kind of want to push Surfer Dude Lucas pretty hard. I know I didn't even want to sign him, but now that we did, we might just give him some angles every show, one angle per show. Let's have Scotty and Damien team up, and they're going to take on. Yeah, I think we'll go with Harry and Christopher Gerard again. And that can be 15 minutes. And let's give Harry Simonson the victory onto Damien. And I think that'll set the... Do we have a match for Damien yet at the pay-per-view? I don't think we do. That might set up a match between those two. Can we call the match? I think we can, yeah. Damien's really, really good. Harry is equally as good. Okay, perfect. That's going to be a good match then, if we decide to do that. Alright, so we're going to call this match. It doesn't need to be slow built, but it'll be decisive. So we'll book that. I then want an angle before the match where we're going to have Debonair and Damien. And they're going to be approached by Victor Goliath and Scotty Hampstead. Everyone rated on entertainment. Hopefully we're not overusing... Damien Dastardly. We might be. Yeah, he's being used far too much. Alright. So the next, I guess we'll use our pre-booking that we've already done. Add to the booking sheet. 14 minutes. We'll just give it 10. And it is going to be for the tag team titles as well. So that'll go there. I then want to give a debut. Yeah, I think we'll go... Let's go Blackwell Bush. And he can take on... Maybe Jesse Tasman. Yeah. Both on debut. On TV. And I think we'll give Blackwell the victory, but we can make it tainted. Even though it doesn't really matter. Can they actually call together? They might be able to. 63. And Jesse is 41. Never mind. Let's also make the Samoan Demolition match a storytelling match. And then we want to do the Surfer Dude Lucas angle as well. Nice. We might actually have that to start off the show. I mean, Surfer Dude Lucas and Jesse Tasman could make a pretty interesting tag team. I feel like they could. It would be interesting anyway. Alright, we also need another angle for... I guess we'll go with Samoan Demolition. And King Malietoa. Actually, I guess they can be joined by... well, let's just keep it how it is. Because we do have the match up next at the pay-per-view, which is going to be the duo taking on Samoan Demolition. And obviously Fox and Possum getting their title shot on this TV show. Do I want to... I guess we can do one more angle. Let's actually go with the duo. So that is going to be Oh, actually, we also have Barney Mason. Actually, let's do an angle with Barney Mason and Dexter Mattel. So Dexter Mattel, Barney Mason. And I think we'll just do, let's just do an attack. A 4-minute attack. And that can come after the tag match. Right there. I think that looks pretty good. We'll do a couple of pre-show matches as well. So let's exclude already booked. Let's have Dexter and we need a face and a heel. I guess we can give Christian a match as well. And they can take on Barney and Flip Buchanan. And let's give Christian the victory. And then we'll give Flip the loss there. He's going to be our jobber, resident jobber. We'll get his brother in as well. Have like a tag team jobber as well for our division. And let's go one more match. I just want to go Lone Shark. Maybe against Banky Bremner? Yeah. There we go. Lone Shark picking up the victory in this other pre-show match as well. Alright, cool. Looks pretty good. Let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 32, where we have Dexter Mattel and Christian Blythe defeating Barney Mason and Flip Buchanan in 9:38 when Christian Blythe submitted Flip with a figure 4 leg lock. Yeah, Flip getting a 12 in-ring performance. Not great. We then go into a 39, where we have Lone Shark defeating Banky Bremner in 10:29 by pinfall with a blood in the water. And apparently these two have great chemistry together. So that's pretty good. Also, Banky's gimmick, initial rating of very good. So happy about that. Alright, we then start the show off with the debut of Surfer Dude Lucas. His angle gets a 34. But basically just, him introducing himself as one of the new signings of APW. Basically, his whole gimmick is that he loves surfing, and he's just a surfer dude, as you can tell from his name. That's not a great match. Anyway, we get a 28, where we have Blackwell Bush defeating Jesse Tasman in 9:40 by pinfall with a handful of tights. Jesse's also got a surfer dude gimmick, as you can see. That's pretty interesting. Hopefully that's not going to mess with Surfer Dude Lucas's gimmick as well, because that'd be a bit frustrating. Anyway, moving on to a 50 Menace angle from Samoan Demolition prior to their title defense. That match gets a 46, where we do have Samoan Demolition defeating Fox and Possum in 9:46 when King Maleatoa pinned Pookie Possum with a Devil's Drop, and Samoan Demolition make defense number 2 of their APW tag team titles. Yeah, it's a pretty good match, actually. A 46, not too bad. We then go into a 34 for Dexter Mattel attacking Barney Mason backstage. Basically just leaves him down and out. And of course, we'll get this match pre-booked in as well. And it is going to be Dexter Mattel taking on... Where is he? Dexter taking on Barney in sort of a rematch from the match that occurred was it a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? And in this one, I think we want to let's give Barney the victory because he is the face. And it's sort of like, I think he lost the first match, so it's kind of his redemption at the pay-per-view. Okay, so we already have Harry Simonson in a match against Lone Shark. That's gonna prevent us from doing Damien. Okay, that's fine. We'll find something else for Damien. We then go into a 48 rated angle where we have the agency essentially teaming up with Goliath Global, as we have Victor going backstage into the agency's locker room and approaching Debonair and Damien, and of course Scotty Hampstead, the Commonwealth champion, just in behind. 48's pretty good, happy with that. And then we have the main event, which gets a 47, where we have Christopher Gerard and Harry Simonson defeating Scotty Hampstead and Damien Dastardly in 15:29 when Harry submitted Damien with a Boston Crab. Yeah, pretty good match. The overall show rating getting us a 43 and increasing our popularity in 6 regions. Of course, not increasing in New South Wales, unfortunately. And we also use Damien far too much on this show. But you know what? I see Damien as like an upper mid-carder, sort of main eventer, almost. And hopefully, you know, his popularity will be helped out a little bit, because I would like him to get up there as soon as possible. Okay. We've also got Gregory Grace coming in, so he's going to come in as a heel, which is perfect. And we've got our viewing figures 0.02 for This Is War, just over 22,000 people tuning in. Nice. Alright, we've actually got a massive roster, man. We've got a really, really big roster. Anyway, let's advance into the pay-per-view. Of course, going to have one pretty big debut. Man, Purple Viper is so good. Of course, if you watched my Road to Glory series on TEW 2016, I did have Purple Viper in my Oli women's division. And she wasn't that good. But she's still pretty good, even back then. But she seems to be a lot better on 2020. Alright, so is there anything else I really want to do? At the moment, not really. So let's get into the pay-per-view. Big night out. Alright, let's get it on to the APW network and check our backstage incident. Hopefully that's... Yes, perfect. Debonair taking Jesse Tasman under his wing as a protege. It's kind of perfect, although it'd be better if Jesse was a heel, because then we could actually put him into the agency. Either way, I do like that, so not too bad. What is Sean Quartermain actually doing? That's an interesting question. Because I think he used to be Lanny Williams' manager. And I honestly have no idea what he's doing these days. So Sean Quartermain. Oh, okay, so he's managing the Apocalypse, which we haven't really used because they picked up that injury. Okay, I mean, that kind of makes sense. What are his entertainment skills? 65s. Okay, that's interesting. We will probably use him once, what is it, Warmonger comes back? Anyway, let's do our pre-bookings first. So let's add Barney and Dexter. Lanny as the road agent. Let's book in Harry on Lone Shark. We're actually going to give Lone Shark the victory, but what we might do, so we can have a match between Harry and Damien next episode, is do a tainted finish with Damien getting involved. So let's do Harry and then Damien. And then we want the outside interference finish as well with Damien. Yeah, that kind of feels a little bit better. I like that. I like that just that little bit more. It adds a bit more storyline to it. And then finally, we'll book this tag team title match in as well. Simple and easy. All right, that looks pretty good. What we're also going to do is have a fatal four-way match where we're going to have Massacre defending his Australian title. He's going to be taking on... want to go Blackwell Bush? Not particularly, but we don't really have anyone else. Maybe Lothar Prelinger? They got the same popularity. Let's go Blackwell Bush. And then we're going to go for two faces as well. Alex Macquarie is perfect. And then let's go with, I guess, Suburban Legend as well. We'll give this one 12. I like 12 minutes on it. Massacre is going to retain. And it's going to be a pretty good match, I think. I think that has the potential to probably steal the show. Although Blackwell Bush probably not as over as everybody else, seeing as he's kind of new to the roster. But he is essentially just being thrown straight into a title match, which is, you would assume it's pretty big. And then, of course, our final match, our main event, is going to be Christopher Gerard taking on, probably should have had this one pre-booked in, Scotty Hampstead. I don't want to give it 20 minutes, but I know that's going to be too long. We'll try 16, but even that, let's do 20. It's a goddamn main event title match. It should be 20 minutes at the minimum. We're going to have a new champion. Yeah, there we go. Commonwealth title on the line. And happy days. Let's also make this one the storytelling match. Perfect. Do we want to do one more match? Let's go a tag match. And I think we want to have Christian Blythe team up with Damien Dastardly to take on Positive Energy. Perfect. Let's actually, we'll give Christian the victory there as well. I think you can obviously tell where this is going. Yep, perfect. All right. So I think we'll chuck that one way back there. And then we'll chuck that one there. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, let's do our angles, because we're going to do some interesting stuff, I think. And we're going to have the debut of Gregory Grace, and he is going to confront our new champion, Christopher Gerard, post-match. So what we want to do is actually... Well, I mean, it's obviously Goliath Global versus Gerard, but that sort of storyline's probably going to finish. But let's put Gregory into this, into the storyline. We're going to change it eventually and put him into the agency. But for now, we'll keep it there. We then want Debonair, Damien, and Christian Blythe to have an angle together as well. And of course, going to be a successful angle for all of them. And Christian is going to join the agency. Let's just do... Guess we can just go Christian Blythe. There we go. Christian Blythe joins the agency. Yeah, we'll go after the match. I think that's pretty good. And then let's go with a menace angle for Samoan Demolition again. And we're kind of just promoting them as the big, strong, menacing tag team that is absolutely destroying the rest of our tag division. Which they are, for good reason. That can go before their match. I kind of want to do... Yeah, so we want to do Surfer Dude Lucas. Another angle for him. Obviously, the first one wasn't too good. But I'm hoping they're going to gradually get better. So we'll kind of just put this wherever we don't really have an angle. I think there's kind of fine. I mean, we could have done... Yeah, actually, let's put it somewhere else. Let's put it between the... Actually, we can start the show off with it again. Yeah, I think that's good, because we have an angle there after the agency match. We then want to do one more angle, I think, and we're going to go Victor Goliath and Massacre. Basically just Victor hyping up Massacre. Rematch. So we'll get that one in there. That's perfect. We can actually do another match. I kind of want to do... Let's do Surfer Dude Lucas, and we'll give him a match. He can make his in-ring debut on pay-per-view. Well, for our pay-per-view. We're not actually on pay-per-view yet, are we? And I think he can take on... Let's go with Leon Namath. I'll give that 10 minutes as well. And a nice debut, in-ring debut victory there. The Surfer Dude Lucas. Yeah, we definitely can't call. Alright, perfect. And we'll chuck that right back at the start as well. Yeah, right there. Alright. Do I want it? Yeah, let's do one more angle. And I just want to have Damien Dastardly. We'll probably get a penalty. Never mind, never mind. Okay, what is our problems? Okay, kind of everyone is being used too much on the show. Can we change that? Let's make this 8 minutes. Let's make this 8 minutes as well. I just want to see if it makes a difference. Perfect, it is. Alright. But the other problem is... Lanny is doing too much as a... Okay, perfect. He was doing too much, and we fixed that, changing one road agent match. Alright. Pre-show. Just do a couple of tag team matches, I think. Do Fox and Possum. Is Warmonger back? Still out injured. Is he? Is he? Yeah, he's still out injured. He can perform, but I prefer him not to. And let's just go with single heels. Do Reggie Hema and Tyrant. Be an interesting match. And let's give Richie Fox the win. Of course, Fox and Possum on the old pre-show. And then let's go one more match, and we'll go, I think, Wilkes and Lidecker. And they can take on Brian. Let's go Banky Bremner. And White Wasp. Oops. Did I not do Wilkes and Lidecker? Or did I do them at the bottom? I possibly might have done them at the bottom. Anyway. And then, of course, we just want Whirlwind Lee Wilkes to get the victory. Yep, pre-show, perfect. All right. Yeah, I think that's a really good show, I think. We just do a quick save, and let's start the show. All right, so we start off with a 36, where we have Fox and Possum defeating Reggie Hema and Tyrant in 9:42 when Richie Fox pinned Reggie Hema with an Animal Magic. And yeah, Reggie Hema being the weak link, only getting a 12 in-ring performance. Moving on to the other pre-show, getting a 35, where we have Wilkes and Lidecker defeating Banky Bremner and White Wasp in 9:46, when Whirlwind Lee Wilkes pinned White Wasp with a double tap. And then Banky was the weak link in this match as well. Alright, so we then start off the show with a 38 rated angle for Surfer Dude Lucas, cutting a promo, basically saying he's about to make his debut, and it is at Big Night Out. You know, there's no better place for him to make his debut. The match isn't great. Only gets a 31. But Surfer Dude Lucas did outperform Leon, so I'm not that upset. Anyway, Surfer Dude Lucas defeating Leon Namath in 7:36 by pinfall with a spinning angled slam. Yeah, interesting. Spinning angled slam. It's kind of a strange finisher name. We then go straight into another 31, and unfortunately, we have some negative chemistry. Anyway, we do have Christian Blythe and Damien Dastardly defeating Positive Energy in 7:43 when Christian Blythe submitted Casey with a figure 4 leg lock. And as you can see, Christian and Damien don't work well as a team. A little bit frustrating considering I just essentially put him into the agency, but that's fine. We then go into a 49 rated angle for the offer and acceptance of Christian Blythe to join the agency. And as you can see, he does join. Not going to matter too much because Damien's going to be primarily a singles wrestler. I don't see him really being involved in a team with someone. Of course, he is the heir to the agency. We then go into a 41, which is kind of a decent rating for this match, actually. Where we do have Barney Mason getting some revenge, defeating Dexter Mattel in 9:52 by submission with a full Nelson. And of course, Dexter beat him down in the last show as well, attacked him backstage. Yeah, getting some revenge. Happy days for Barney Mason. And like I said, pretty good match, considering they both got much lower than the actual match rating itself. We then go into a 47 for Samoan Demolition's pre-match Menace angle. Of course, they're going to absolutely destroy the duo and once again retain. The match gets a 46 where we have Samoan Demolition defeating the duo in 9:44 when King Meleatoa pinned Donovan Boone with a Devil's Drop. Samoan Demolition making defense number 3 of their APW tag team titles. Unfortunately, Donovan Boone sustained a blown eardrum as well. Probably King Meleatoa just giving a stiff punch to the ear. Was it a botch? I guess we'll never know. Anyway, 51 for our next angle, where we have Victor Goliath hyping up one of his stable members in Massacre prior to his title defense Fatal 4-Way match. 51's pretty good. The Fatal 4-Way gets a 41, where we have Massacre defeating Alex McQuarrie, Blackwell Bush, and Suburban Legend in 12:29 when Massacre in Blackwell with a Black Descent. Massacre makes defense number 3 of his APW Australian title. Yeah, pretty good match. Massacre best in the ring, as you'd kind of expect, with a 41, so he actually got the same as the match rating itself. Kind of happy to keep the mid-card title on him for now, at least until we find a proper challenger. We then go into our semi-main event, which gets a 49. Pretty good match, actually. But we do have Lone Shark defeating Harry Simonson in 13:48 by pinfall with a Blood in the Water, following interference from Damien Dastardly. So Damien helping Lone Shark get a victory. Of course, Damien lost in that tag match in the last TV show to Harry Simonson. So, bit of revenge there. And kind of setting them up for a possible match in the future. Possibly at the next pay-per-view. Which is kind of what I wanted to do on this one, but it's perfectly fine. Really good match. Really good match. And then we go into the main event. Also getting a 49. Like I said, I knew the match was going to get penalized, but I kind of wanted to do it anyway. It just doesn't feel right doing a 15-minute title match. Anyway, we do have Christopher Gerard defeating Scotty Hampstead in 20 minutes, 30 seconds by pinfall with a T-bone suplex. And of course, we have a new champion. Christopher Gerard wins the APW Commonwealth title. And then, of course, we finish off the show with a 57, so a pretty decent angle there. And, of course, we have the debut of Gregory Grace. And he approaches... What? Man, his gimmick got an initial rating of poor. But he approaches Christopher Gerard, holding the title belt up, celebrating. And basically says that he's next in line. He is the most popular star that APW now has on their books. And of course, that's a direct shot straight at Christopher Gerard, who just won the main event title. Yeah, good stuff. That's a really good angle to actually end the show. Overall show rating getting us a 49, which I do believe, as you can see, increasing our popularity in 7 regions. So I think that's an increase in New South Wales. Hopefully it'll get us up to 43, I think it is. Either way, let's do some praising. Now, I know that Dexter has some morale issues, so we'll go with Dexter. I'm not sure who else has... Should always check this before I start the pay-per-views. Let's go Suburban Legend, and let's go with Lone Shark as well. Not sure if they have morale issues, but I'm kind of just impressed by them, especially the Lone Shark. That was a pretty solid match with Harry Simonson. So I'm definitely kind of happy about that. Alrighty. Got the viewing figures, 0.03, and we got about 24,500 fans tuning in to watch our pay-per-view. We then have Donovan's injury. We'll check that in the medical in a second. And once again, the lack of big names on the show hurt the attendance for APW's big night out. Yeah, it's to be expected as well. We need to try and build up some stars. With that said, let me have a look at the medical really quickly. Okay, so it's only 6-day injury, so that's fine. And in 5 days, we get Warmonger back as well. So we can start using the Apocalypse. Alright. Check the size before we do end the episode. We're still at 42, sorry. Almost. We must be getting close to getting up to a 43. But again, it's kind of only our pay-per-views that are going to increase our popularity, because the TV shows, we just can't exactly make matches that are going to be as good as our pay-per-view matches, if that makes sense. But either way, you know, we're going to continue. Still going to try and build up the popularity in those other regions. And then we'll do what we do in the pay-per-views. Put on the best matches we kind of can. Anyways, it's been a really good episode. I've really enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you have smashed the like button. Please do it before you leave the episode, guys. It does mean a lot to me. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can find a link to purchase TEW 2020 down in the description below. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.